In this demo, I'm going to show you how to deploy Eucalyptus on a physical server. So this is a small box we have in the lab. I've just written down the MAC address. I'm going to time this so we see how long it takes. What I want to do is to deploy a Eucalyptus server on this machine and then to deploy my first Eucalyptus virtual machine. So first thing to do is to log in ComodIT, and I'm going to add a definition profile for this. I'm going to define this new host in ComodIT, so it's going to be a simple Eucalyptus deployment. This means that I'm going to put all the components on the same physical server. I'm going to provision the machine using the gPXC protocol, so all I need is the MAC address, and we'll use a standard CentOS 6.3 distribution. Need to make a little change in the distribution configuration. I want to disable Secure Linux because my Eucalyptus deployment has some issues with it. And I'm going to add the Eucalyptus application. I want the ComodIT bootstrap image to be automatically deployed for me, and all I need to fill in is the host name or IP I'm going to use for this physical machine. Now the machine is ready to be provisioned. I just click the provision. I know I need to switch back and go to the physical machine to initiate the sequence. So I'm going to use a USB stick with the gPXC boot chain. You can check the website to see how to do that. So it took us about 2 minutes to define the machine in ComodIT, and now we are actually going to install it. So the machine will boot on the USB stick, and it will chain into the gPXC protocol that will then go fetch the required definitions based on the MAC address and the organization secrets, which is on the key. And it will initiate the installation. So it fetched the kernel and the images, then we'll fetch the kickstart file because it's CentOS installed here, and we are a physical server which is going to be automatically installed through ComodIT. And you can see the installation is starting. So if you want to learn how to use kickstarts with ComodIT, you can also check the website. So it took us about 3 minutes to actually go from nothing to a machine which is installing itself. And about 10 minutes in the process, you see that all the packages have been successfully deployed on the host. So now we're going to enter the post-installation phase, and that's during this phase that we're going to install Eucalyptus, configure the Eucalyptus cluster and nodes, and we're also going to install the ComodIT images. And because of that, it's going to take a while because these images have been downloaded from the web. So about 40 minutes in, our machine is ready. We've got the prompt, and if we go into ComodIT, we see that the green bullet has appeared. Machine is up. Here I have hostname and IP address, and if I SSH into the box, I have the Eucalyptus command line tools which have been installed, and I can see that I have 2 images which have been deployed for me. It's the ComodIT bootstrap image, one for the EBS mode and one for the Walrus mode. So now I want to deploy my first virtual machine on top of this new Eucalyptus server I have. So what I need to do is to add a Eucalyptus platform in ComodIT, and for that I need the access key and secret key of my new host. So I go into the platform section, click add. I'm going to select the Eucalyptus driver. The endpoint is a IP which is going to be publicly accessible, or at least accessible from the ComodIT IP address. You can also get more details on the website on how to do that. Then I fill in the access key and secret key. And finally, I need to also provide the ComodIT Bootstrap EMI. So if you just check in the images list, you need to take the EMI of the ComodIT Bootstrap EBS image. And that's the image we're going to use when we boot a Eucalyptus instance. And we use this bootstrap image so we can link into an install process. So with ComodIT, you don't really need to have your own templates or a gold image, as we say. ComodIT will just deploy machines for you. That really makes it super simple to deploy machines very quickly on top of Eucalyptus.
So here I'm going to deploy my first host on my new platform, and you see that all these settings here have been fetched for me automatically. So I'm going to pick my SSH key, etc. I'm going to use the same CentOS 6.3 distribution that I used for the physical machine. It's the same definition. ComodIT knows I know how to deploy it on Eucalyptus. And here I'm going to install a WordPress blog. So it's going to be a simple blog deployed on top of the Eucalyptus host that I've just provisioned. So when the machine is defined, I just click provision, and now the machine is going to be installing itself on my Eucalyptus box. If I look at the running instance, we see that there is a new instance and that it's in the pending state. So it's going to take a couple seconds for the machine to be up, and eventually it switched to the running mode. If we look in the back what's happening, if we connect directly to the hypervisor, we see that there is a virtual machine which has been created and it's now installing itself. So it's going to boot the ComodIT bootstrap image and then chain into the unattended install of the CentOS distribution. And using the exact same scheme, you can also deploy Debian or OpenSUSE distribution. Once the machine is ready, we have the green bullet. We also retrieve the IP address or host name. And if we check, well, the blog has been successfully deployed. And just like for any other ComodIT application, if I change something like this blog description, the change is automatically propagated to the real system. So as soon as we click check mark, and if we refresh the blog page, we see that the title has been successfully deployed. So we really went from a bare metal box with nothing on it to a full Eucalyptus deployment and a first Eucalyptus virtual machine in a bit less than an hour, thanks to ComodIT, which is quite awesome. You can learn more on our website, ComodIT.com.